What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I post a new video. In the last video, you guys saw me install these custom LED headlights on Cardi B. Really enjoying those so far. So if you haven't checked out that video, go check that out and then come back and watch this one. Pretty great video. Today we're going to be talking about differences between these two lift kits, helping you guys out, making a decision if you guys are looking into buying a lift kit. I know from experience when I was first getting into the truck scene how difficult it can be deciding what size lift you might want on your build. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What lift is perfect for you? So I'll pretty much be telling you guys the pros and cons of each lift. This is Kaylee's 2005 Ford F350 with a 10-inch lift on 40-inch tires. It's actually an 8-inch lift stretched to a 10-inch lift with a leveling kit, but we'll get into that in a second. This is my 2012 Ford F350 with a 24-inch lift. Way bigger price range, but is it really worth it? We'll see. Now in this video, you see I'm talking about a 10-inch lift and a 24-inch lift. I'm not including the leveling kits and the 4-inch lifts and the 6-inch lifts because, my personal opinion, if you're going to spend the money, get a 10-inch lift or a 20-inch lift, because you're going to get bored after 2 months of having a leveling kit and you're going to end up getting a 10-inch lift anyway. So really, I don't include that into the lifted truck. I don't care if you have that kind of lift, whatever works for you. But personally, I had a leveling kit on my truck. I got bored with it in like 3 days, and then I had to jump up to a 10-inch lift on my last truck. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. Like I said, this is Kaylee's 10-inch Pro Comp lift. It's actually an 8-inch stretch to a 10-inch. So it's an 8-inch coil and then a 2-inch leveling kit, making it 10 inches in the front. And then it's got like 7.5 in the back. It's a leaf spring with a block. Most companies make lift kits like this. So you can get Pro Comp, BDS. They run you anywhere from like $2,000 to $5,000. Now, most people will probably go with this kind of lift compared to my lift for good reason. It's a little more practical. You can fit into drive-thrus. We could take this truck in drive-thrus. My truck, there's like 1 or 2 drive-thrus in the whole freaking state that I can fit into. This truck it's pretty easy to drive. Like, if she really wanted to, her mom can drive it. My little sister could drive it. Anybody can drive this. When you go to my truck, it's like, if you haven't driven a semi-truck before, you probably haven't driven anything like mine. Unless you're getting 44-inch tires, all the tires will fit. This truck rubs a little bit with 20x10s and 40s, but not anything crazy. If she bumped it up to a 12-inch lift, it wouldn't rub at all. So that's kind of a pro/con. You can only go up to, like, if you put 42s on it, it would rub, but most people aren't going up to 42s. The highest most people go to is 40, so you will not rub with most wheel and tire setups unless you have 16-inch wides and 3-inch spacers like my truck. So kind of a pro, kind of a con. As most of you guys know, this truck has no steps, and it is pretty easy to get into. Most people could get into this. A little bit on the harder side compared to like an 8-inch lift on 37s, because it does have 40s and that does make a difference. I will demonstrate even with one hand. It's not too bad to get into, but if my truck didn't have steps, it'd be a dead mission. You're not getting into that truck without steps. So another pro, this truck you don't need steps, and it's pretty easy to get into. Now this truck, with our normal size garage, you're not fitting it into a garage. You can fit the bed into the garage to work on taillights, or front of the like few inches of the front to work on like the front. You are not fitting this in a garage, but you're definitely not fitting that into a garage. So if you had like at my house, I have 1 foot taller than normal. Like, I could probably fit this whole front into the garage, but that, no. So that's another pro of having a smaller truck. People always ask too, can that truck tow as good as this truck? And I'm gonna prove to you guys one day. I'm gonna go get a hitch and then we're gonna hook it up. These trucks could probably tow a trailer equally. I know this truck could pull a trailer no problem, and this truck I guarantee can pull a trailer. Just because it has big coilovers doesn't mean anything. I'm pretty sure I can pull a trailer with this no problem, and I have a trailer to prove it. So I'm gonna hook this up to my 14,000 pound work trailer someday, and I'm gonna pull it with it. So just to prove a point, that's a pro of both of them. Both of them can tow still, no matter what anybody says. I've seen D-Max Rhino. He has a 12 or 14 inch lifted truck. He's pulled a camper with it, no problem. That video went viral, so pretty sure most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Now, the big dog. Compared to ride quality, this is where this suspension sets apart from this suspension. I have full coilover lifts, so I have the 14 inch coilover in the front and another coilover in the back. Most people think this truck rides like crap, but this truck rides way better than this truck. This truck, you can feel bumps. This truck, when you go over a bump, it floats. So driving on the highway, I could drive this whole truck for hours with one hand, no problem. This truck, it's a little bumpy. So for road trips and stuff, I would be taking this truck over this truck. But for city life, driving through drive-thrus, going to the grocery store, well, going to the grocery store, that's my grocery getter. But small spaces, this is the truck to go with, and long drives and where you need good ride quality, this truck. Everybody that drives in this on long road trips, you could easily fall asleep, no problem. This truck, it's a little rough, but that's gonna be changing soon because this truck's gonna have coilovers like this truck soon. And everybody always says that this truck has to get terrible mile per gallon, but in reality, this truck gets better gas mileage than this truck. So it all has to do with gear ratio. This has 410s, this has 373s, so of course it's going to get a little better gas mileage than this. I get 15 to 16, sometimes I've even seen 20 miles per gallon on this if you drive it normally. This truck gets about 12, 13, 14 miles per gallon. So also the engine, this has a 6.0, this has a 6.7, so that comes into play. But listing your truck really high really isn't going to kill you on gas mileage, depending on if you have 430s and you drive on the highway every day and your truck is revving at 6 million RPMs when you're on the highway, then of course you're going to get bad gas mileage. But I drive this everywhere, every day, and it doesn't kill my pockets to drive. Now, say you're a dad, right? You're a dad or a mom, and you have kids, and you have dogs. I would definitely not want to daily drive this compared to this, because there ain't no way I'm putting a car seat up in that. I would definitely choose this truck if you're a family guy.
There are magic beans?
Because the babies don't like getting into that truck. You have to lift them up in that truck. Camber can sometimes get into this truck. Piper can't get into either of them, but she's a midget, so she don't count. Right, Piper? Say, yeah, I'm a midget. Right. The law, also. I don't get pulled over in this truck, but I have heard many stories of people with this height or taller getting pulled over everywhere. My buddy Brandon, he used to get pulled over everywhere, but he also had 53s on his truck, and I only have 40s. But the law might mess with you in your state for having a truck this big, or even maybe this big. Comment down below if you guys have ever had experience with the cops over your lifted truck, or for your wheels sticking out too far, or the headlights being too tall, or whatever. I personally haven't got messed with yet, and my last truck was definitely not legal. But yeah, I don't get messed with out here, but everybody in Illinois drives a big truck, so kind of not uncommon for trucks being this tall driving everywhere. The final pro and con is the price. A truck like this, the suspension could be anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 depending on the options. If you get everything chrome plated, it could be very expensive. Compared to this, you could get an 8-inch lift or a 10-inch lift from anywhere from a few $1,000s to Yeah, probably a few $1,000s. For an average of like $5,000. So tens of thousands of dollars, a few $1,000s. All depends on how big your pockets are, I guess. If I was to do it all again, the next truck I build is going to have a lift just like this. You could even do airbags. Like Kelderman makes good lifts. Those run you about like $12,000. Any level makes crazy stuff. That's like $16,000. The options are endless. So if you don't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars on your truck, this is the lift kit for you, which is perfectly fine. That's pretty much it, guys. That is my pros and cons of a 10-inch lift compared to a 20-inch lift. Comment down below your opinion. Would you take a 10-inch lift or would you take a 20-inch lift? I can understand both, so that's why we have both. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to comment down below what you thought about it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.